Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 10 of Rollin' Heavy. I am your host, Big D, and I am flying solo tonight. Uh, the notorious BOF is off on a little short vacation, having some fun with some friends. So, just going to be me tonight. It's going to be a nice little short one, but I wanted to give you guys an update on kind of what's going on. What are the plans for the next month or so, and what's our schedule going to be like here for the podcast, and some news. So yeah, this last week kind of sucked. I was sick. I had a really really bad ear infection, and some of you are probably thinking, really, like an ear infection? That's what kept you out? Well, this is probably the worst ear infection I've had, I think, ever. So it wasn't the typical, oh, here, take a pill, whatnot. No, my ear canal actually got infected, and it was by far one of the most painful things that I've had happen to me so far. So basically, my ear canal uh, was swollen shut. So I couldn't hear. It was painful. There was just constant pressure, like just behind my ear. It felt like I had a golf ball just sitting there. Um, Luckily, though, I did go to a couple of doctors. I was able to get some antibiotic drops with some steroids and stuff in there to kind of stimulate it, to open it up and kind of let all the infection stuff start to drain out, which is a little gross. I know, I'm sorry, but um, it wasn't pleasant. But um, I'm back. I'm feeling better now and planning to get back to the gym starting on Monday. So yeah, it kept us out of the gym this week, which is a real bummer because we did go last week. Gym was closed. We didn't go to the turkey roll. Didn't happen in time. It was a little early for us to be able to roll and make dinner, so we didn't go to the turkey roll on Thursday, unfortunately, and we didn't roll in my parents' living room and wreck all of the stuff. So we had one roll last week, and it felt really good to get back to the gym, get back on the mat, and I was really looking forward to rolling this week and getting back in the groove of everything. And you know, life happens. It didn't get it didn't get to the mat. I wasn't able to train this week, and I was really sad about it. Honestly, was really sad about it. But feeling better. Ear is healed. I've actually got some new motivation to get back to the gym. And yeah, I made a decision today that there's a couple of tournaments coming up in April and May, and I'm gonna start training for one. I want to compete in a tournament and just have some fun with it. So my plans over the next couple months, I updated all my goals. So we talked about a while about what are our goals, what do we want to do. Um, So I updated all of my goals, and I have kind of a rough outline of a plan because I don't know about any of you guys. I need to have some kind of structure to my training if I'm gonna one do it. So I can't be left to my own devices and be like, oh well, maybe I will do a little bit of yoga or a little bit of Pilates today, or I'm gonna do half an hour on the elliptical, or I can't leave it up. I need to write it down and say, all right, Monday Monday is the jujitsu day. Monday I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna go through class and I'm gonna spend uh, 2 to 3 rounds of full rolls. Um, Tuesday is going to be a little bit of a recovery day. So Tuesday is going to be um, a yoga, stretching, core strengthening type day. Wednesday, more than likely going to be a weight training day. Do a little bit of strength training, and then Thursdays will be back to the gym, back to class, active rolling, and then one day, either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, going to be doing just some straight cardio. So Me and BOF have talked about it over the past. Being large individuals, like our gas tank is not good, and I think mine is probably a little worse than a lot of people's. So I do struggle quite a bit getting through a full 6 minute roll. So um, my main focus is mostly going to be cardio. I'm already pretty strong. I lifted all through high school. I push BOF around the mat twice a week and do a pretty good job moving him. So not too worried about strength. I'm more worried about my endurance and making my gas tank bigger. So that's gonna really be my main focus, and that's kind of the goals with uh, rolling the extra time in, because right now I'm lucky if I get through half a round before I'm absolutely just wasted, and I'm sucking wind. I'm flat, my back's flat on the mat, and I'm just heaving. So even if I get to that point, if I don't finish the full 6 minutes, I'm going to recover and I'm going to go another round. The most important thing for me getting started is just to be consistent. It's like I want to do 3 rounds of rolling. So if I'm only able to go 2 or 3 minutes, the first round, and then, I'm gassed or he's gassed, um, that's fine. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna recover. Then I'm gonna go back again the next round. Go as long and as hard as I can, take the rest, and then do it for one more round. Obviously, if you get submissions or anything, more kudos to us. But really, the main focus is um, practicing those fundamentals and actually applying it, because that's kind of where our biggest downfall has been so far, at least in my opinion, is not actively rolling as much after class. So a lot of the after school stuff with the kids is done. There's not a whole lot of practices and stuff to roll to rush off to after class. So we should be able to put quite a bit of time into rolling after class. So hopefully we can take some of these 1 hour class sessions and push them to an hour and a half to 2 hours. So if we can get a full hour of rolling in after class, that'd be awesome. So that's the plan. I also want to get active in rolling with other people, not just rolling with BOF. He's a great training partner, and his body type is probably more indicative of somebody that I would be rolling against. So that's what I want to practice with. But I know sure as hell I'm not going to lose enough weight to go down a weight division by the next tournament. Um, so that's kind of the plan. I just want to work on my fundamentals and work on the gas tank. The rest will come in time, but um, I feel like it's time. I've been doing this for about 5 months now, 4 if you count all kind of the time off that we've had, um, and I wanna step in and I want to compete and have fun. If I get choked out in the first 30 seconds, great. It's just gonna be motivation for me to do it again. Um, and I'm a pretty quiet dude, and I don't really let my competitive side show, but I like to compete. I like to be active and feel like I'm actively improving myself and that I have a goal to push towards. Right now, the goals that I have are off in the distance, and they're a little more subjective when it comes time to achieve them. Like one of my goals is to get my first stripe. I wanted to get it by the end of the year, but with the way the my schedule's going, I don't think that's going to happen. So that's going to be something that I didn't quite achieve. However, um, that's not something that's 100% in my control. Um, something that is in my control is registering for a tournament, and so that's something that I can do and I can get ready for. I can register and I can compete, and so that's what I'm going to push for, and that's going to be one of those short-term kind of motivation factors for me over the next couple of months. One, not only is it going to get me a better shape, I'm going to feel better and be healthier overall, but it's going to give me I think even a deeper drive uh, to to practice jujitsu. Um, because I know, and I've talked about this a bunch already, that I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to this stuff. My free time is spent, watching jujitsu videos, whether it's competitions and just admiring the skill and the form that these people at the top of their game have. Um, I recently rewatched Eddie Bravo versus Hoyler Gracie. I think it was their third match, and I was just like mouth open the whole time because that was probably one of the most incredible displays of skill that I've ever seen, and it's motivating to me. Like I love that. I love seeing the things that they do and how they're able to pull these things out of it's seeming nowhere to me as an ignorant white belt. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. Is I'm gonna start training. It's gonna be a big motivation factor, and I may go and decide, hey, I don't ever want to compete again. This isn't my thing, or I get hooked and I'm gonna want to train. I'm gonna want to do the next tournament and the next tournament and the next tournament, and just continue to practice and hone my style and get better and better. Um, so yeah, and this decision just kind of came out of nowhere. I was sitting, I was at work. I guess I was at lunch, and I was watching a jujitsu video, and he was answering a fan's question about competing for the first time. It's like, oh, what should I do? What should I learn? And just kind of that nervous white belt energy. And I was watching a bunch of competition stuff before that, and it just it's like I want to do this. I want to give it a try, and it's got that extra little push of motivation for me to get to the gym, to get training again, and really just treat myself better. Um, so that's the plan. I'm gonna try to hit the gym as much as possible over the next month. With the holidays, it's tough. Training is tough, and my schedule is extra difficult. Um, we got family coming in from out of town, so I'm gonna miss days because of that. We're doing Christmas at some different times, so I will be spending time with family and just won't be able to get to the gym. But I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna try to supplement myself as much as possible. Um, Continue to be a student and continue to learn and hone my craft. And when I do get to the gym, making sure that I am focused and paying attention to whatever the technique is, practicing it and trying to learn it as much as possible, and then apply not only that technique when I start to roll, but trying to incorporate some of the other things that I've learned. And I'm gonna take a focused approach on this. So I want to start working. Uh, each time I'm at the gym, I'm going to focus on one. Let's say I'm going to start focusing on, working from my guard. So I'm going to be in guard and I want to work on either sweeping or setting up some kind of submission and just getting more proficient from that. Then the next day I'm at the gym, it's like, okay, I want to work within your guard. And then I want to work from half guard. I want to work from side control and just work back and forth between I'm attacking, I'm defending, from both positions, so on top or on bottom, trying to sweep and trying to gain those advantages. And and that's where really where it's at. I wanna train. It's what I want to do. I haven't had a desire to do something like this for a very long time, and it's good for me to have that feeling again. Um, I love some of the things I do. I love, the people that are around me, but this is something that's just, it's different. It's something that I am doing just for me, and it's something that I want to do to try and better myself and get better at jujitsu. Um, because honestly, like I've fallen in love with the sport. It could be a combination of things, but one, it's hard, it's challenging. Uh, which is awesome for me. It makes me think while I am actively trying to not get choked or not have my arm ripped out of socket. And then also thinking, how do I get out of this? How do I counter this? How do I put them in this position? And like it's just the sheer number of things is mind-boggling to me, and I love it. I want to learn. I want to keep going. I feel like if I've been doing this for the next 20 years, I'm about to turn 60. Hopefully I'm a black belt by then. That I'll still be learning, and still be seeing stuff I've never seen before, and still be in awe by the sport. Like I feel like it's just that deep, and I'm hooked. I'm gonna keep training as much as I possibly can for as long as I possibly can. So, um, not only doing this is going to get me healthier, it's going to allow me to train longer, it's going to allow me to train harder, and it's going to allow me to get better. So that's really where I'm at, and that's what I want to do. Um, it's nice for me to have that fire again, um, and that passion. We talked about a couple episodes ago. What is motivation? What is discipline? What is dedication? Motivation are kind of those short term kind of carrots on the stick that get you to the gym and get you to training and do that. Discipline is that willpower to continue to do it when you don't want to do it. You're having those, I don't want to go to the gym type days. I want to sit on the couch, that kind of stuff. And then there's dedication, which is I think the highest level for me is that long term commitment. It's this long term goal. It's the long term perseverance through all your obstacles that would keep you away. Um, and it's that deep burning fire that just keeps you coming back. I don't want to say I'm to that level right now, but I am definitely getting. I'm feeling the embers, so to speak. If we talk about just the fire of dedication. Like I feel the embers starting to ignite, so to speak. And I think just being able to train sporadically and continuing to watch and learn and look at some old things. Like one of the very first techniques I learned was the flower sweep. Um, and I went back today and I was watching that. I'm like, yeah. And seeing these techniques I'm familiar with new eyes, it makes so much more sense to me. I remember watching it the first time after class. I'm like, this still doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but okay. Now that I've been doing this for 4 months, it makes a little more sense, and I see how the movements tie into everything. And it's not, oh well, why should I should do it this way? It's easier to do this way, but it makes more sense now. And I'm there. I want to do it. I want to get better. I want to progress and be, I guess, that guy, that's at the gym who's training, who is not only trying to make myself better, I'm trying to make, BOF better. I'm trying to make the gym better and everybody I'm training with better. And because I love what I'm doing with it. Um, yeah, I mean, that's really it. I have fallen in love with the sport and I want to give my all to it. And that's where I'm at. And I'm going to start earnestly training and um, giving my all to getting better and not just treating it as casually as I have been. Um, and just keep going, keep pushing, keep motivating, And I think as we kind of go through the holiday season, um, it's going to be rough. I'm going to do what I can, but after all the time off is done, all these family events are done. I've eaten quadruple my fill. I've put on all the weight that I've lost from starting to train and um, starting again in earnest and wanting to compete in, the next, at least from today, 5 to 6 months. there's a competition on April 1st, and then there's another one in the middle of May. Depending on how I'm feeling, may possibly enter that April 1st tournament. I don't know if it's going to be enough time for me to feel ready, but I don't know what ready is because I've never done it. Um, and then uh, there's a lot of more little ones as we go, but that's what I'm gonna do. I want to do it. Um, so I've rambled for the last little bit, but BOF comes back next week. We're gonna hit training pretty hard next week. We'll have another episode. We'll talk about where he's been, things that he's been doing, and he decided today as well that he wants to start training in earnest. So we're gonna combine some of our workouts outside of the gym, and it's not just gonna be me doing my thing and him doing his thing. So we're gonna hold each other accountable and be doing workouts together and pushing forward. And I'm looking forward to it. So it's nice to have, a partner in crime, so to speak, with this kind of stuff and someone there to motivate me on those days where, I know my motivation's not going to be through the roof every time. Um, and it's going to be nice to have that, to have, Boff pushing me forward and encouraging me, and I'm going to do the same to him, and we're going to both keep getting better. Um, you know, uh, I don't know if we talked about it last week, but the last time we trained, um, Johnny, our head instructor at our gym, as we were working on a takedown, he came over and he looked at us both in the eyes. He's like, you guys are always over here. You're always training hard. And it was just like, I appreciate that. And there's nothing like, a compliment from somebody like Johnny that's gonna put a big smile on my face and make me want to train harder. It's nice to be recognized that my training is paying off. He is noticing that, might not be the prettiest, but we are trying really hard and we are wanting to get better and we are wanting to do the best that we possibly can. And, it's just continuing to build from there. I want to represent my gym in a tournament. I want to do well and I want to help bring home and, medals. I want to bring home trophies for the gym and to put up in our case. The last major IBJJF that we had in our city, we won first place gi and no gi, and I want to contribute to that. I want to contribute to the success of the gym and um, give back what it's given me in spades at this point. Um, I love the gym. I love what we do. I love all of our instructors. Everybody that I've trained with has been awesome. And the sport. I know this has been about, I don't know, 25 minutes of me just gushing about, jujitsu and the gym and my love of the sport and just wanting to get better. And that's what it is. That's who I am. That's where I'm at emotionally, and I'm really excited about making this decision. Um, Everybody that's listening to the show, I please send me messages. Um, Send me and Boff messages to rollinheavybjj at gmail.com if you have competed. Suggestions that you've had for training that you've done leading up to competitions, things that you've done that you felt have really increased your gas tank. Um, and we're going to keep updating as we move along. How are we progressing? What are we working on? How are we doing? And and continuing to go from there. This little podcast is something that we just do for fun. We appreciate everybody that listens here, and we'll continue to do it. And yeah, we look forward to your feedback. Hopefully, you will help push us forward in wanting to compete. And we wanna share it with you guys as well. So anybody that's listening, please feel free to send us a message. Things that you feel like are helpful, training tips. We're ignorant white belts. We're doing everything that we possibly can to try and get better. So If in your training, if you have tips, if you have suggestions, please send them our way. Or, words of encouragement. I always take words of encouragement. um, to keep pushing us forward, and we're gonna share all this back with you all. Um, and then, as always, if you have you know things that you want us to talk about, jujitsu wise, if you have show topic ideas, please send them to us. Um, we've had one viewer question so far, and it was probably one of the most fun topics we've had. Um, so please send it to us. We love hearing from you guys, and that's gonna wrap it up for me. I know it's a little bit of a short one today, but I appreciate everyone that has listened to this point. It's a little bit of a milestone. I'm kind of sad that I'm doing this alone in episode 10, but it is something I don't think I could have held on to for another week. I was been talking to my wife about it, and she's just like, just go do your podcast. Just go tell the people. Um, and I'm probably just gonna be talking about it nonstop. So, um, thanks everyone for listening. We truly truly appreciate it. And if you have friends you think that would get a kick out of the show, please share it with them, and help us grow. We want to get out there to as many people as possible. So thank you again for listening. Questions, suggestions, everything. Again, it's rollinheavybjj@gmail.com, and I will see you on the mats.